to another tutorial with me. My name is Crafty JoJo and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the UK, and today I'm going to show you how I created this wonderful album, which I call the Mega Album, and it's a rather large project, so you will really need to do a lot of cutting and preparational work before you can start following this tutorial, because in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to assemble the things and in which order you have to assemble them, and the tutorial with all the measurements for the cardstock, the DSP, and the product list of everything that is needed with detailed descriptions and detailed photos to help you put the bits together will be available in my Etsy store, probably 1 or 2 days after I manage to upload this tutorial, because it's a mammoth project and I have a lot of writing to do, so I'm really working hard on this to show you this. So as you have seen the little teaser video, I don't need to open this. This is what we're going to do, but today I'm going to do a male version, so it's going to look slightly different, but of course the measurements and the way how to put it together is the same. So I'm going to set this aside, and I just want to show you the pile of stuff, oh my god, that you would need to prepare. So this, for example, are all the tags that go inside the main pockets, behind your waterfalls, and inside the pages, and this is this little tag. I don't really think I need to explain to you or show you on camera how to round the corners of all these tags and put the ribbon in. The only thing that is important, the small tag that is on the right side of your album when you open it, that little thing there, this is going to be punched with the scalloped chopper tag punch, which is this one here, and you just push it in here and you press it down and it gives you this scalloped edge. And other than that, all you do is on all your tags, which I'm not going to do on camera today because this is going to take forever, you just carefully round all the corners of your tags. So this is the tag finished. You would need to put some ribbon in here, and that's about it. So I'm going to finish my tags off camera just so you know how I did it. Okay, I'm going to put this away again. So I've talked about the tags. So in preparation, you would need to cut all your tags. You need to cut all your DSP. You would need to cut all your pockets and everything. And this is how you need to get organized. As I said, these are all my tags, so I'm going to set them aside because I'm not working on them now. And then you need to get organized with all the rest. So once you have cut everything that is on the list, you should try to organize it in piles like this. This pile, for example, are the 2 bits of cardstock that are going to form the body. So this is the 2 bits, and this is the cardstock that goes to the outside of the body. That's why I have put it all together, and I'm going to keep it together. So, but you need to get organized like this yourself. So make a pile of this and this together with the designer paper for your outside, because this is the designer paper that's going to layer onto these panels that later on are going to be stuck outside. So make sure you get all this together. How do I organize this now? It was nice and tidy. I undid it. Now it's untidy. All right, so this is the first bit. So this is the outside with the decoration and everything for your album. So put this away. Then you need to organize yourself in a pile. These are actually the 3 main pockets, the bits that you are going to use to make the big pockets that are sitting on the hidden binding. That's why the cardstock for the HB means hidden binding. The hidden binding cardstock is in this pack as well. So get them, cut them, and get that organized, and make a pile of this, because we are going to work in like chapters. This is how I try to organize this tutorial. And then you need to create 2 piles that consist of the cardstock, the designer paper, the pulling panel, and the 5 cards for your 2 waterfalls that can be pulled out. Okay, because that one is on the left side and this one is on the right side of your album when you open it. And get this all cut out and get it organized in 2 packets like this. This is the designer paper for the inside of my album. These are the waterfall panels for the designer paper that these panels go onto, that are stuck to the main pockets with the big tags. So this is another chapter, and these are actually the cardstock and the matching designer paper for the little pockets that hold the tags that are sitting on the main pockets. So this is how you need to get organized. And let's start working on, I'm going to put these away. Let's start working on our outside, because this is the first thing you would need to do. Try to keep this together. So for the outside, you have your two panels here, and they need to be scored. And so can you see it? Yes. So you are going to score the cardstock cover here and here, and you set this aside, and you're going to do the same. And this is the first part is the left side, and the second part is the right side. Okay, so this is how your album goes together. And so this is our right side, sorry, our left side. So what I'm doing is I'm going to quickly burnish and fold. So this is the first part, and this is the second part. Oops. Okay, try to be straight. Have I not put that straight into my paper trimmer? So these are the two bits, and they are going to be fused together at the back side, like so. Okay, so again, this is the first part you've scored, and this is the bit that is going to be used with glue and then to be glued on here. And when you glue it on, make sure that this lines up perfectly to this. And I'm going to do this, and I will be back. So this is what it looks like once you've fused it together, and this is then how it actually closes up. And before we can carry on with anything else, we need to put in the magnets, because they need to be hidden under the DSP. Oops, my magnets have a life of their own. They are so strong. So there's a small one sitting on top of this one, which shouldn't be sitting there. So I'm going to use 4 sets of magnets for the closure of this box. Don't go together. That's 3 instead of 2. Okay. Really difficult to keep them apart. Okay. Oh, rubbish. Okay. So as you're having fun watching me struggle with my magnets, this is what I do. I pick them up like so. I take some super glue, put a tiny wee bit, and when I say a tiny wee bit, I mean a tiny wee bit. This is too much. It's too wet. So I take a piece of scrap cardstock and just dip it on once. And then you want to place it, just eyeball it, and try to keep away from your borders of your cardstock, because later on this is going to be covered by designer paper, and it works better if it is a bit further apart. So you take the second bit, do the same, just a wee bit of glue, and then you are going to eyeball roughly same height and distance, and you're going to press it on. Do that with the third one, like so. This is too much. See, it's far too much. So I'm going to just dip it on here and take the excess off, and I'm going to pop this in here and pick up the last one. and do the same here. Oops. So once you've put this in place, you're going to swap the position of your magnets round to the other side. Just slide it off. And let the magnets find their position by themselves, which puts you in the position to glue this together like so in a minute. So what you're going to do next is you just want to pop on a tiny wee bit of this. And now you're going to close your box. Try to align it really well. And then just hold it for a second. Just use a plastic tool, do not use metal, to press it down. So this is what you've got, and if you now open it, it closes perfectly. Don't worry about this, this is going to be covered by designer paper anyway, but like this you get your magnets in the right position. So after you've done this, the next thing to do is you get your pack of your panels. So I'm going to show you how these panels go on. So if you lay, this is the outside of your box. So your panels go on like this. Oh, wait a minute. You have to lay out everything. Is that the, oh, I think these are the wrong panels. Sorry, just a second. So what I was saying is, this is your cover, and we're going to cover the outside, and for the outside we have this pile of cardstock for the panels and the matching designer paper, and this is the layout. So you open your card or your cover in front of you, and you just try it on basically. So this is going to sit on here like so. This is going to sit on here like so. This sits on here. This sits on here, and this sits on here. So this is what you need to lay out first, and you should not go ahead and glue your brown cardstock to your crumb cake cover. First you need to put your handle in. So this is how the designer paper goes on. So what you can do in the next step is you layer this designer paper onto your panels, but you don't glue the panels yet to your cover. But this is how the layout is, because the next thing we need to do is we need to fit this on here, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But I'm going to do this off camera, get this sorted once my panels are ready. I'm not sure if I'm going to use metal embellishments on this one, because it's a male version, and I think the filigree little embellishments are too female, so I might actually use some industrial gears, but I'm not so sure, because this is round circle, so it's inviting to glue a few random metal gears on, but probably I'm going to show you how to do that later. First of all, let's just glue the designer paper to your cardstocks, and then I will be back. So I have layered my designer paper onto my cardstock, and I've just spread out some of the industrial gears, and I'm going to glue these down with these glossy accents, and that needs to dry for a while. So it will I need to pause and while this all dries before I can actually finish off. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all these industrial gears in place with this glossy accent glue. and let these dry, and then I'm going to glue the brown panels with the embellishments and everything onto my cover. But for this one we need to work together on it, and I don't know if you can still see it. You need to find, I'm going to carefully push this because I don't want to destroy my arrangement. So what you need to do is you need to find the center of this roughly, would be helpful. So my DSP is 5 3/4, so that is 2.5 roughly. This should, you can eyeball it. However, I bought this handle at the local DIY store, Home Base, that's what they're called, 1.95 or something, and I just make a little mark here, and I'm going to use my hole punch. I'm going to make a hole in it, and then I'm going to use paper fasteners like these, and I am going to pop this on with the help of the paper fasteners. Number 1 and number 2. So this panel now, I'm just going to really press hard because I don't want this to go any loose. So this is how you are actually going to put this in place. If you like, you can add a bit of the glossy accent fasten glue underneath here as well on both sides, and then just leave it flat to dry. That will also help stick it in place. And now all this is ready to be glued on. So this is the next step you all need to do. Glue your embellishments on, mount your handle onto your piece of cardstock, and then put it all in place on your front cover, and that's the first bit finished. This is what my cover looks like after I've put in all my embellishments, my handle, and everything is set. So you can already close it like so, and it's going to look really nice, I think. And we can set this away, and the next thing we are going to work on are the three main pockets that need to be glued together, and the hidden binding, and that is this piece. This pile, you have 2 of each color, the same size, and you need to score them just on one end, which is going to create the flap, as you can see here. That is going to glue them together, and our hidden binding excuse me, it's just going to be scored on the short side, and it's always the same distance that you're going to use, so you score it all the way. And then you turn it to the back side where you've scored, and you get your double-sided tape out, and you just put down the tape on this end. And then you jump one space, and the next 2 you are actually going to add tape. And then you jump one space, and again the next 2 you add. Sorry, I just had lunch and now something is stuck in my throat. So here we go, and the last bit, wait a minute, let me just think because I'm getting confused here now. So this is the space this is together, this is the space, this is together, this is the space, and this is together. All right, here we go. I got confused because I'm an old lady. So here we go. So what I've done here now, this is what your piece should look like. You are going to fold in valley and mountains, and it's very, when you see the finished fold, I'm not going to confuse you with all sorts of measurements, just going to show you what you want to come to once you have finished folding and putting on your tape. So this is what you want to come to, okay? So you have added tape to the back side. Inside each valley you have put some glue, and when these come together, this is what you're left with. So this is completely covered to finally then be glued on. So again, this is how you start. First one, first section you put tape in, you skip one. You do the next two, you skip one. You do the next two, you skip one. You do the last two. Okay, and before you can go ahead, you would now need to switch to different tape, because, and I'm going to switch to the red score tape because that is really extra strong. And you need to apply this, and now this is important to where you are going to apply it. At the bottom of your bow, of your three mountains, if you want to call it like so. So this is the first, because apparently this is a mountain, and if you put this together, you have some tape here, and you need some tape here. And you do this on this section and on this section as well, because these are your mountains, and you need the tape at the bottom of your mountain. So right next to the score line at the bottom there. That is when you are going to glue your pockets in. You need extra strong tape to hold it. So again, this is your first mountain, this is your next mountain, so this is where it goes. Quickly going to show you. So here we go. And the last mountain, I think I've glued in a little insect there. Oh dear me. That was some funny mini fly here. So this comes with free protein. Whoever buys it will have some extra protein in it. So this is after you've applied all your tape. This is really so annoying. Just a second. Come on, bit. I think it's not an animal. It's a color error in the cardstock. Whatever. Never mind. So when you squeeze your mountains together, you should have tape. Can you see it? On each side at the bottom there. So this is how it goes. Leave it, put some, leave it, put some, leave it, put some, leave it. That's it. And now you are going to assemble it. So now it's important you mind which ones you peel off, because you're not going to peel all of them off. First of all, you're going to peel this one off, and you're just going to basically fold it. So this has glued your first bit together, your first binding. Okay, so this is the next one. So you skip this because that's the distance, and you are going to peel the next one. And again, you just fold it over. So that's your second bit. And then your last bit, you skip this section. So this is the next one you need to peel off. And you fold it over. and you give it a good rub, and your back side is now covered with tape still to be peeled, and your front looks like this. And you just train the paper in all directions, because you want your pages to easily follow to the left, to fold easily to the left as well as to the right. So this is your hidden binding, and this is what it looks like. We can set this aside and now quickly work on the assembly of the pockets. As I said, they all have been scored on one end, so I am going to take a tiny wee little bit off on each, like I wedge it, okay, and I do this on this side as well. Give it a good rub, and I wedge it like so. And apparently very simple, you're going to glue it together, like putting this end together, and then once this is set, you put the other end together like so, and like this you are creating 3 pockets that look like this. All right, and these pockets are actually going to fit over your piece of hidden binding. This is how the pockets are going to sit later on, very tightly and neatly hold by this double-sided sticky tape in place. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to assemble this off camera and get back to you. So this is what it looks like when you have put your pockets on your hidden binding. So I strongly recommend, after you've glued your pockets together, to try out if they easily slide on. They shouldn't slide on to the extent that actually the hidden binding falls out just like that. So you should have some struggle to put them on with the tape still on it, but they should actually fit on. If they don't, just take your hidden binding and take it to your paper trimmer and trim a 1/16 of an inch or something off. Just fold it flat and just take a tiny wee bit off and try it on again, because if you put your hidden binding in your album without having tried on your pockets, you might have some struggle. So this is what the pockets look like when they are assembled, and we are going to put in a gap for the thumb. So for the first one, I'm just going to measure where the center is. So this is the center is roughly here. So this is what you do. You measure, you find the middle, and then you just pop in your punch. Try to keep your mark in the center, and all you do is this. And then you just use this as a stencil and pop this in and punch it out, and then use that as a stencil. Getting covered in bits here, and you punch it out as well, and there you go. And this leaves you with 3 gaps. They all sitting in the same space, looking nice and professionally, and this is actually really tidy, you know, like a neat look. So now that we have done this, it is time to peel off the first 2 bits here from your hidden binding. It's a bit fiddly. It's a bit very fiddly. Here we go. And I'm going to slide on my first pocket. And then you're just going to gently push it down until it has come down all the way. And then I'm just going to adhere it. So this is how you slide your pockets on, and I'm quickly going to do it with all 3 of them, and then we can this is somehow electrostatically charged, so it sticks to me and it doesn't want to let go. So I think I want the dark brown in the center. So again, just slide it in like so. When it sits in place, give it a good rub. There you go. And the next one. So creating a hidden binding is a very neat solution because you can't really see how the pocket is adhered, how it works, unless you did it yourself, then you know. So again, I'll just slide it on, push it down until it has come all the way down, then give it a rub. So these are my pockets in place, and as you can see, they fold beautifully, and they can already go inside your album if you like to. Where is mine? My album is here, and I keep the closure always to my right, so the magnets are so tight. So this is the section when your closure is to your right. This is the section, do not get mixed up and put it here. This is the section where your hidden binding goes in. Okay, and actually we could do that. So I'm going to peel off all these bits. Ow! I just hurt myself. Okay, number one. Number two. Number three. And number four. Now you only have one chance because apparently this is sticky. So you have to aim for the same distance. Use your bone folder between to rub. And these are your pockets already in place. So this was this section. So this is what you've got at this moment. You got your decorated outside, and now we need to look actually what you can do if you like, because I've already completed all my tags. So these are the tags that will go to the centers of my pockets, and let's just see if they fit or if I have a poor no. Beautiful fit. Look at that. Just exactly the right size. And that looks beautiful. Okay, so this was this. So let's have a look at what's next. So the next thing we need to look at is our waterfalls with the mechanism to pull out, and this is one of the packs that I have prepared. So it consists of the cardstock that it's going to be mounted on, the designer paper that is going to surround my waterfall, and then these 5 panels and the pulley strip. And first of all, the pulley strip needs to be scored, so I quickly do that, and here it is. Sorry for all this and us. So I'm going to score this on one end only, and I'm going to just cut away the corners for a slightly better fit, and I'm going to train the paper, and I'm going to put this away because we don't need this at the minute, and I'm going to show you how you're going to establish where to put your pulley strip so that you have a good fit. So I'm going to, because I'm going to mark on the paper, I'm going to turn it upside down, and then I'm going to eyeball roughly, and actually to eyeball it, I'm going to double check because it looks horrible if you have two different sides. So this is 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so this is roughly the same distance to both ends, and this as well. So once you've found a position like this and you're happy with it and it's reasonably straight, you're going to take a pencil and you put a mark in, and within this pencil marks we need to do the scoring for our panels. And to do this you would need to score with the same distance that your graduation of your cards is. So this is 1/4 of an inch distance between each panel, so I'm scoring with 1/4 of a distance. So this is going to be my first, yeah, that's the right one. This is going to be my first score mark. So I'm going to start here, and you only score between your lines, and then you answer right here. First panel, answer right here. Second, answer right here. Oops, I just slipped. Here it is. And this is too wide. Wait a minute, I can't really see what I'm doing here. This was here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here is my right score line. Sorry for that. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 I've done. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth panel. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth panel. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And a sixth mark, but we don't really need that. So you should ignore my misscoring here, but it's very difficult to see it on this paper anyway, so I'm quite glad you can't see it. Bad enough I can see it. So the next thing we need to do is we need to cut, and we are going to cut from here all the way down to here, with our craft knife. So I have to double check what I'm doing here. So I've just extended my pencil marks for a better view so that I can see exactly where I'm going to cut, and try to be really precise. Try to cut exactly on the line, and so this is this bit, this is this bit. Oh, I can't see it properly. I need a mark here as well, so from here to here. Okay, now I can see what I'm doing. You can mark on the back side of your paper, that's no problem whatsoever. It's going to be glued on the brown cardstock anyway, so you don't even need to bother to erase it. So once your cutting is finished, oops, this is what you have, some sort of frame, and I'm going to fold it on the 6th score line just to have And this is, as it is paper, this is where the paper is going to fold down to all the way. So to reinforce my paper and make sure it doesn't easily tear, I'm going to use sellotape and glue it across here, because that's one of the weaknesses of waterfall cards made from paper. They tend to tear where the mechanism sits. So I have reinforced this with sellotape, and now what we're going to do is we are going to fold one by one, going to fold our score lines and train the paper into the right direction, and then we are going to glue in our pull strip. So now here I have to watch what I do. This is the right score line. Okay, and this and this. These are my score lines. And you're also going to do it to the other side to train your paper to fold easily. The softer your folds and your paper has become, the better your mechanism will work. So do it a couple of times, and this is what you've got so far. So now this comes in, and I'm going to add some double-sided sticky tape. And I just realized I ran out of my red double-sided sticky tape. Wait a second, which one am I going to take? Oh, just a second. So I've put in a strip of double-sided sticky tape that I still had, but it's actually not the extra strong one. So I'm going to add an additional tiny wee bit of wet glue as well. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do next, because this strip needs to be glued to the back side of your first fold here. So this is where it goes on, and how to establish this is very simple. You turn it onto the right side and you place it opposing each other, and then simply fold it down. But before you fold it down, you are going to peel off your strip, and I have to add additional wet glue. So this is what I'm doing. Tiny wee bit of wet. There we go. So I'm going to oppose this like so. Oh, wait a minute, I'm wrong. Don't do it like I just said. Of course it goes to the back side of your paper. Jesus Christ, nearly put it wrong. So you turn it onto this, you fold it over, and that's how you do it. All right, what you also can do at this point is get your punch out, make a slit for your ribbon, and feed your ribbon through so that it's already in place.